everybody, it's Lisa. I'm back with my Gothic themed journal, finally finished. So hang out the flags, give me a drum roll. This has taken me so long to do because I've been so busy with other things recently, but I'm glad I'm here to show you it, and I hope that you get some inspiration. First of all, I'll tell you the papers that I used and the people who inspired me, so you can take a wee picture of this. The Gothic Rose is the collection from Digital Curio, and Gothic Ruby from Screech Owl Studios. Boy, that was a mouthful. And you can find their stores on Etsy and purchase and download these papers if you like them. And the main person who inspired me is Michelle Blackmore. Hello Michelle, thank you so much for sharing your beautiful Gothic Rose journal. I absolutely fell in love with it and with the papers you used, and I've taken quite a lot of inspiration from you, so thank you very much. I'd also like to thank Laurie Webber of Ivy Shutters, and she recently made a Gothic journal, and I picked up the tip of doing this fancy bit on the spine. So thank you ladies. I also want to thank my friend Moira McDonald. Hello Moira. Moira has inspired me to make my tags more interesting. She recently sent me some tags and I sat with them all laid out so that I could see how she does her layering and her collage. So thanks Moira. Anyway, let's get started. This is the 5th attempt and each time the video is too long. Metal book corners, now I'm going to be gibbering like a budgie, which have been stained with alcohol ink. And I went for the Raven image, which has been layered on two different types of card, black burlap and this lovely red lacy stuff. And look at my hinges. Ooh, I'm so impressed. I cut the shape out of plain cardstock and then went over it with lumps, I can't describe it in any other way, lumps of gesso, embossing powder, blasted it with the heat gun, it all bubbles up. And then I stained it with the alcohol ink and sealed it with decoupage. So I'm really impressed with them. I tend to go for the kind of clean, neat look. I don't know how else to describe it. I see lots of other beautiful journals who have got where people have decorated with beautiful layers of lace and things, but it just isn't me. I've tried to recreate it and I just can't do it. So I stick to what I know. I like things to be even, to be something in the centre. I'm quite boring that way. But I do like this on the spine. However, it doesn't quite match the hinges. The hinges were an afterthought. And I think if I could go back and do it again, I would not have the bow on the outside because it matches the hinge better, but without the hinge I think the bow would be beautiful, if that makes sense. I'm also going to have to put a closure on it because it's too fat. And I've got lots of beautiful dangles, charms, a lovely little Scottish brooch and some lace. Here is a lovely little charm. It was from an old necklace and an old earring. And it looks really nifty there. And I've just layered this pocket. This is a kind of trademark of mine. I always like to put some of these pockets in. And I have done a layering effect of gauze and really thick glittery netting, which I've put stays on over just to make it black. And here is one of my Moira inspired tags. There are various pockets all sewn in. I've never done as much sewing on a journal as what I've done on this one. And this was Michelle's kind of idea. And I like the fact that there's a border round about the pocket. And a little pocket here with another Moira inspired tag, which I've just thrown away. Cut, take two, look, there we go. And it's printed onto acetate, so it looks like a negative. And I've just decorated it a la Moira style. And a little bag with some journaling cards. A couple of journaling cards in this little pocket here. I've added like a lot of gathered ribbon just to make it look like tabs. The ribbon went beautifully with the papers. Beautiful paper here. And I've done some stamping. I've got no idea if this stamp is upside down or not, but it looks nice. And a sheet of paper from an old German book. I've got no idea what it means, but the script or the font is very Gothic style. And I would never thought of putting tea-dyed paper in beside black and red, but I thought it looked really pretty in Michelle's book, so I've put in some of that. And I've hung a couple of little black chains onto a couple of the tabs, and they're fastened with two paper clips. No, they wouldn't be fastened by a paper clip, Lisa. Two safety pins, and one higher than the other, so it kind of sits nicely. I have done a lot of stitching down the black pages, and the centre of each signature is has an envelope, so there's a little card in there, and that hides the stitching. I use black bookbinding thread for the book. Some stitching here. I think my light's starting to go. I don't think I'm getting good light. I hope you can see it. A lovely little stitched pocket with some lace and another layered tag, so there's couple of different layers on that. And I've put in a few ripped up sheets of lined paper from the collection, and I stitched that with the sewing machine. Papers are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And here, if you lift up the acetate, no, not acetate. Vellum. Yeah, it's vellum. There's a little pocket there, and I printed the page onto tea-dyed paper and kind of roughed it up a little bit. And another one of Moira's inspired tags. And I've got a die that cuts out book corners, so there's large ones and small ones. So I've done some, these are the big ones, and I've done a couple of the small ones, and you could fit a photograph in there. I have to show you this. This is my wee brooch that I picked up from a local charity shop. It's lovely. It's not very Gothic though, because it's gold, but hell, it's a rose, so it needs to go in. It's a rose. It's beautiful, and I love all the lace that's down the kind of outside pages of the signature. And here's another stitched page. And a little card, kind of flap thing, and I've made a little paper clip there. I think it needs something extra on it, a wee bit of bling or something. is needed. More ruffled ribbon. Paper is beautiful, isn't it? Oh, the sun's out again. We'll take advantage of the good light. And another one of these little pockets. And just a couple of plain tags this time. A little journaling card in that little tuck spot. More stamping. And this is so pretty. Look. And when it opens up, it reveals a stitched pocket with a journaling card inside. And the centre of the second signature here. And I made a kind of document wallet closure. And this is a little tuck spot on the back. And another stitched pocket with, doesn't want to come out, couple of more really just quite plain tags. Journaling card. Oh no, that one's came loose. I'll need to fix that. And lovely black paper there. You can actually write on the black paper with maybe a silver gel pen, maybe a red gel pen. And here is a little charm, a little gothic themed key hanging from this tab. And another little paper clip there with a journaling card. The third and final signature and a beautiful little dangle here hanging from the top. More book corners there. Another stitched pocket with a layered tag. I love this one. Look at that, that was lovely eyelash trim. It was actually a ball of wool that I bought from a charity shop. And some, like there's some burlap. And I've used some stickles. The German paper. And look at this, take a long look. This is my wax seal and this is the most perfect seal I have ever made. Usually they're a bit wonky. The only problem is it's a bit lower down than I would have liked. Don't ask me why I made it too low. No idea. And there's a little pocket here with a journaling card inside. And the red card, it's not really red, it's ruby maybe. It's called Cherry Cobbler and it's a Stampin' Up card. And I put a couple of bits of lace in just randomly. And this is a little fabric pocket and the fabric is embossed, so it's raised, the pattern is raised. And journaling card, little document wallet that I made. Just using up the bits that I had left over. Music paper from the 1940s. It's a bit fragile, so I hope it holds. Just made a little pocket and that's tea-dyed paper that the page has been printed onto. And another little chain hanging there. And the centre of the last signature with a couple of cards, and this little stamp is a bunch of roses, and I got that when I was out with my friend Moira and we went to the craft group D-Stash car boot sale. There you go, that's a long one. And we got loads of bargains. They do it twice a year and it is amazing. So that was one of the little treasures that I found. And the other side of the music paper with a page printed on tea dyed paper and also sprayed with tea. A little belly band here made out of black card with some lace on the top. And there's a double-sided lined journaling card in there. Oh, I'm getting major shadows now, aren't I? It's the way the sun's out, but it's just the way it's coming through the window. This little pocket is inspired by Bram Stoker's Dracula, and this is dedicated to one of my Facebook friends. She's a lovely, lovely lady. She's Polish. She lives in America. I'm not going to say her name, but she told me that she had a beautiful gothic covered Bram Stoker's Dracula book, but she no longer has it, but it was beautiful. So this little corner pocket is dedicated to her, and this is represents the signature of Vlad the Impaler, who Bram Stoker based Dracula on, and this is an image of him which I have aged and I have scorched round the edges to make it look much older. I love getting the lighter out and like setting fire to things. There must be something wrong with me. And a couple of images from the movie Bram Stoker's Dracula. And Moira, I told you there wasn't going to be blood in this book, and I'm sorry. This is to represent blood. And I put a little wax seal there. You'll see it's not as good as the other one I did. And that's, well, it's supposed to be an envelope, isn't it? But I love the way I've really aged that up. I love that look. Tracing paper makes such a lovely sound. More German paper. We're almost there. Another stitched page. Small book corners as a tuck spot. And the last page I have, this is off the broken piece of old jewellery, and it's a rose. Now, how perfect is that in this book? I love it. I love how it looks when you look down at it that way with all the beautiful charms in the lace. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the run through of the long awaited Gothic themed journal. Thank you to everybody who has inspired me, but a huge thank you to all my subscribers for the support you give my channel, and I love to read all your comments. So if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below and I'll get back to you. So the video is almost 20 minutes long now, so I'm going to say cheerio, and I hope it won't be too long till I see you all again. Bye.